Homunculero, and right now we got Mondo Homunculero segment, which we go into depth with magic. We're gonna learn the basics of magic through Mondo's perspective, and we are so looking forward to this. I don't have the words to say enough about it, Mondo.
Okay, cool. I think probably now I taught classes on chaos magic for a good 20 years.
Would you mind explaining what chaos magic is?
Yeah, in a minute. Yeah, I'll get to that. But anyway, I taught these classes for years and years. I had them at venues, outside venues. Sometimes it was a coffee shop. Sometimes it was actually in like an actual venue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, and so
that many people, huh?
yeah, and well, magic stores. We used to go to the magic stores and put the classes on. We used to go to I forget what the name of it was. It's no longer. We used to go there to that bookstore and put these on every week. So I'll give you the thumbnail of my first lecture. Always the introduction. So in this, I'll give you kind of an idea. First of all, people want to know, well, people listen to this who are not familiar and they say, what the fuck is magic? I was like, yeah, I hear you. So they mean, do you guys pull rabbits out of your hats, or can you light your finger on fire? Or can you make a rock fall on a guy? Or,
right.
People are really interested in shit like that.
Right.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, I put this curse on this fucker. And so mostly the classes that we taught, we'd get people that already knew.
Really?
Once in a while we'd have a newcomer.
Oh, wow. What's that like when that happens?
Nobody says anything about it. They go,
really?
oh, you're new. Hey, you're new to this. Hey.
And nobody gives them any warning?
No, nobody fucks with them. Well, no, they come in and they know it's an introduction.
Okay.
Right. They know what the class is, but they don't know what to expect from the class.
Right.
Okay. So what I would do is I'd size up the room. Sometimes it'd be 3 people. Sometimes it'd be 30.
Right.
And I'd size up the room. We used to put one on an art gallery also. That was a fucking great one. That was when Doug was still. Anyway, so I got introduced to magic. I'll give you my history on that.
Okay.
So I had been kind of a secular Buddhist, okay, for a long time. I had. And I was a student of the I Ching, and I had, I Ching is a form of divination,
okay,
where you can discern a path into the future, if you wish. You have possible paths into the future, and that's a whole part of magic I'll talk about later, called divination.
Okay.
And so I found out in 1985 that I was going to clean up, that I was going to get clean, and that I was going to live a completely different life, because I had been a corporate guy.
Okay.
I was a director level corporate guy.
Wow.
And so I was, it told me, dude, you're going to be living a life of austerity, and you're going to get cleaned up, and you're not going to hang around with I'm like, fuck that, I'm not going to do
this. You said fuck this, you serious? You're just, yeah, okay.
I did. I said, fuck that.
I can understand mentality.
I'm not going to do that, man. Well, we want to do what we want to do.
Right.
And we're going to do it when we want to do it, if we can.
Right.
And if we can't, we will find a way to do it. Right?
And you tried, huh?
I did it. Well, I did it. So what happened was, that was 2 ODs, 2 near-death experiences later.
Fuck.
Oh, more than 2 ODs.
Right.
2 nearly fatal ODs.
Right.
Okay. And, oh my God. So all these life experiences later just totally became unemployable, started manufacturing, just totally. Well, I'm a chemist basically.
Oh man.
So
I'd be terrified.
That chemistry to me is like washing the dishes for most people.
Right.
I mean, it's like a basic of what.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you know how to wipe your ass. Okay, cool. So it's like. Anyway, so not to draw this out too long on that part, but anyway, so there I was. I ended up getting all cleaned up and stuff, and I was living that, that 12-step spiritual way of life, free from addiction, free from active addiction,
right,
and getting along just fine,
right,
in here. But then I started wanting to die every day. I got so fucking depressed every
Really?
day. It felt like there was this black hole eating the center of
Is
me
that
out.
just from like the dopamine level just completely crashing in your brain?
Could have been.
That's what I can see like medically happen.
It could have been, but you know what? How I got out of it?
How's that?
Through the 11th step.
Really?
Prayer and meditation.
Prayer and meditation? Okay.
But mostly, the way I did prayers was like a mantra anyway, so it was all meditation,
Right.
actually. And so that fixed, if that fixes whatever dopamine levels or serotonin levels or whatever it does, or even acetylcholine levels, if that does that, then I'm good. I knew how to get rid of it. I got rid, and I still could get rid of it. I actually anchored the whole process so that when I fire the anchor, it takes me completely out of it.
All right. So I got to tell you an experience I had a couple nights ago.
Okay.
I'm at home, and I take a big old fat dab.
Right.
And I start hearing shit again.
Yep.
And
Was
this
it a
time
sativa?
no, it was
That-
a hybrid.
Oh, well,
Well, it was
But
probably a
it was
sativa.
indica dominant.
Was it?
Yeah.
but by how much?
57%.
Okay, could have been in that because remember, you're getting a highly concentrated amount direct into your bloodstream.
Right. Which
So-
and to the credit, I haven't had a sativa on purpose since I got out of rehab.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I
Right.
figured that out way.
Right. Yeah, of
later.
course you did because you don't want you just want a nice smooth ride, man.
Right, dude.
It's-
I mean, indica's
it's really-
look, man. Indica's boring as fuck after so many times. Okay.
Right.
It really is. If you don't mix up, weed is fucking boring, bro.
Well,
Right? So I want a different high. I want a different experience every chance.
oh,
I get.
okay.
I'm an experienced fucking addict.
Okay.
I want a different experience.
Okay.
And I want a cerebral. At the same time,
Okay.
I want a peacefulness, about myself.
Okay.
That's what I'm chasing. more
I
than
no, I
anything.
understand. I understand. And actually, okay, so me, I don't really get high.
Okay.
What I do is I have a reduced level of anxiety and pain. And most of my anxiety comes from physical things.
Okay.
So I have physical things that give me a lot of anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah, and eventually if I don't deal with it, depression.
Right.
Okay.
And
So
my blood guy was actually happy that I was smoking cannabis
yeah,
because he said my levels for depression and anxiety would have been way higher than what they are. My dope. Here's another thing that might have caused, which brings me right back to
Right.
my starting to hear things.
right,
My dopamine levels have been heightened
right,
a little bit,
right.
and that's why I'm experiencing, like if you haven't noticed, I'm experiencing
Sure.
happiness and joy a little more.
That's great. I see that in you. I mean, you are definitely on an upswing.
Thank you. I
You got an attitude up.
reason to be in a negative mood and drag everybody
Right.
down because I
Right.
may get scared, nervous, or anxious
Right.
once in a while. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can nip that problem in the ass just by looking at things. You know what? You know who taught me?
Mm.
You.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah,
Four
right.
agreements.
Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Me not taking shit personally.
I'll
is
tell you
the
what.
greatest thing on the planet.
If we have agreement number one, the better we have that, the easier the other ones just fall
Yeah.
into place. They just fall into place.
Dude,
If I keep my word to myself, if I don't break my word to myself, if
Right.
I keep my commitment to me, I don't fuck up anybody else. I don't get pissed at people because they do what they do, because people do what they do.
Right.
It's like, well, that motherfucker, he's well. Well, you know what? I just wasted a whole bunch of energy trying to characterize and label somebody.
Oh damn.
So
Damn.
now, if it's imminent threat, you were trained to handle that.
Right.
So, right?
Yeah.
And there's no imminent threat. The way we live our lives, pretty much no imminent threat. We're just cruising along, doing what we got to do, taking care of business. We got home lives. You guys, you're getting married. You have a girlfriend. You're engaged.
Yeah.
You guys have relationships. And so we just sail along. I don't have one right now, but I'm good. I got a good relationship with me, and so I'm good. I'm really good. I learned now, Magick helped me a lot, and I'm going to go back to that. So I get cleaned up, and I'm cruising along. I'm doing all this Buddhist type stuff with my 12-step program, and I've been writing the steps. I'm thinking at that time, probably 1989, 1991, around that time.
Good years right there. From 89
Were
to
they?
91. Yes.
So
For me personally.
So
I don't know about you.
91?
89 to 91.
Well, I was born in 82, so.
yeah,
Wow. You're a kid.
he was 10 or 11.
Holy shit.
Okay, so to put this in perspective, on a personal chronology level, meaning I was about 38. I was 38 years old. Okay.
Okay.
Does that, rather than say 1991 and you start thinking about, no, fuck 1991, it's done. So anyway, so I'm cruising along.
You're an ass, dude. What the fuck, Mike? Oh, you're fucking awesome.
Oh, I've been getting after the nostalgia shit.
You're so funny.
Nostalgia to me, it's like, do you know that every time you remember something, it's different?
Yeah.
So I try.
I mean,
I work.
coming from a different perspective of that.
No, something changes about the way you put in the last memory.
Right, that's what I'm
And
trying
then
to talk about.
you're going to change it again when you move on to another topic, and it goes back into your memory.
Okay. Yeah, a story always starts out different for me when I'm starting to
Yeah,
tell it.
yeah,
I'm never in the same spot in the story when I start to tell it.
right.
I'm always someplace else.
But more on that later. That's storytelling.
Sorry, I'm doing this and I'm being rude. I'm not going to do that
Yeah.
anymore. Sorry about
Okay, so I'm cruising along, and our mutual friend, Mike Redis, who's going to be on my show, by the way, talking about the fucking wars. Okay, and being a recon guy, shooting people.
that. That's going to be fucking awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's going to. Yeah. So
I'm going to listen to that.
So Redis had known already for about 4 years,
Okay.
and so he goes, Mike, because we're very good friends. It was so great to see him the other day because this guy was like one of my best friends, but I also shit on him too. It was pretty fucked up. Oh yeah, it's a long story. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so he goes, there's this thing I'm going to, this meeting I'm going to once a week. It's called Wisdom Warriors, and I want you to go. I really think you'll like it. I found a religion for myself. And it was Wicca, God and Goddess religion, right? And I really like it, and these people are really cool, right? He didn't tell me there were great-looking women there. So I go to this, we do a past life regression, and mine works. I am in my distant relative's body, Benjamin Franklin, as a younger man. And I'm staring down at my feet, and I've got those buckled shoes on like they had back in those days, back in the 18th century.
Okay.
So I'm like, fuck, this is cool. So I started getting involved with this group and practicing different forms of magic, which fit in with, my meditation and everything perfectly.
That's fucking awesome.
And so I was kind of Wiccan, for a while. And I was in several different groups. I'm initiated in the Alexandrian and Gardnerian traditions in Wicca, and I'm a high priest.
Okay, if somebody wants to know more about these orders, where can they find information about it?
Okay,
Online?
yeah, you just Google Gardnerian tradition of Wicca, or Google Alexandrian tradition of Wicca. Those are two English traditions of Wicca. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but that's a religion though. See, Wicca is a religion, and I'm not. Okay, so I got to think, I don't want a fucking religion. I want to fuck people up.
Yeah. All right.
Right. I want to make money. I want to get laid. I don't really want to fuck anybody up. I want people to stay the fuck away from me.
Right.
And now, a good psychologist would say, you just need better boundaries, man, and you need to sharpen your imagination, right? So I'm
sharpen your imagination.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, there's a psychological.
I wouldn't tell you to sharpen anything at that point. No.
Yeah, no. But you and I wouldn't do that. But the therapeutic community has peculiar
Yeah,
observations.
they're
of things.
fucking, they're clueless.
They have a, yeah. Anyhow, so I get involved with this and everything. So I get involved with this woman, Maria, and we're together for actually 20 years off and on.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I wish she was here.
Good job, Mondo.
I wish she was here.
Ah, man, I know what
It
that
was-
feels like, dude.
It was more about her and how much she actually loved me and how much I appreciated her for that and actually cared about her the same way.
Wow, really?
Yes. But the problem is Maria, it wasn't green enough here for her, but she'd been here for 40 years. And so she moved back to Virginia. She lives in Virginia now, and it bums me out because I love her with all my heart. I wish she was here.
You know, brother, I understand what you're talking about. I thought that I had lost my better half permanently for the rest of my life, and I was
Right.
never going to meet anybody else like her.
Right,
And then I meet Lori,
right,
and Lori turned out to be better.
right,
She turned out to be better than
Right.
the girl that I thought I'd lost.
right.
So, I guess, call it what you will, fate or whatever, but I guess one thing had to get moved out of the way in order
Well-
to make room for something even better.
I have two women that I've been in relationships with
Yeah,
that were actually, I don't compare, but they were way up there with her.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate in my relationships. I've had some
Man.
good ones.
That's good.
But most of it was because I had my head screwed on right.
Right.
And if the other person didn't, I got the fuck out.
That's awesome.
Like, you
So
know,
you're picky.
the one, well, no.
No?
No,
He just knows what he wants.
I just,
Well,
you know,
I mean, and
hey.
that's a good thing if you're judging women based on like stuff
Right.
like intellect and stuff like
Right.
that. Then
Right.
that's not a bad thing because they do the same thing to you.
Well, there's all kinds. We always get into that, you know.
Right.
Anyhow, so I go through that relationship. It breaks up. I was devastated.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay because I had had good training. I had been in the Omega Vector program all the way through it, and I had good personal development training, which goes way beyond what you ever learn in the program.
Wow.
Way beyond. And so I was at the end of that big depression I was talking about. And I was also part of my therapeutics that I did for that was to start doing a lot of divination, enchantment, and evocation.
Huh.
And also even some illumination and also some invocation. So I was doing all the realms of magic, but I'll get into what those are later. So I was doing all this stuff, and it was all kind of like to kill the pain because I wasn't taking any drugs to kill the pain.
Right.
And I was just exercising, meditating, and doing magic.
Fuck, dude.
And I went through hell. I was homeless, right?
Damn.
And I couch surfed for about 6 months. And then I wound up back in the old family home for about 3 months. And then I wound up out in Scottsdale. And then I wound up DJing. I wound up at DJ's apartment. I rented a room from him.
Say, dude, aren't you grateful you did shit like join the program for that one particular reason?
Right.
You know what I mean? If anything else, you got one good reason why you did that.
Oh, there was a lot of good reasons why I did it.
Right.
But anyway, so I did all that. Okay. And then, oh God, there's some great stories there. I mean, there was this thing where this dude ripped off like $9,000 from
Oh my God.
the Narcotics Anonymous regional convention. Here, yes. And we know who it was. And his wife covered for him.
What?
And her sponsor told her not to roll over on him. And she should have rolled over on him. And she was the treasurer of fucking the convention.
Shut the fuck up.
Inside job.
Yeah, that's total inside
So,
job right there.
I tell you
Oh
what,
my
this
God, good call,
this
bro.
this made me
I
this
watched
made
enough fucking
CSI?
CSI
Yeah,
and,
that's
and fucking
do you not agree? Now you piqued my interest, Mondo.
and robbery shows.
let me kind of finish the story
Alright,
because
go
it
ahead.
all
Sorry
ties
to
into magic.
interrupt you. You got
By
it.
this time, I'm in the OTO.
Okay.
Okay, the Ordo Templi Orientis, which is an order of magical Knights Templar.
Okay.
Okay, so at that point I'm in that. And then I move in with DJ. And DJ is the editor of the rolling paper, which was the monthly newsletter.
The rolling paper. Nice.
Isn't that a great?
Yeah.
But it was the
We're
regional.
so stoners.
It was the Phoenix and East Valley areas newsletter
Nice.
for 20 fucking years. It was. And so DJ's the editor,
Oh, shit.
and we expose all this shit.
Wow.
We're like the investigative reporters.
Wow. I would have totally done it too, dude.
Do you remember Gary Sanducci?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. He's dead. He's dead.
Is he?
Yeah, thank
Okay.
goodness. Anyway, he threatened my life
Get the fuck out.
with a gun.
What?
Right.
Why?
Gary, the guy that kissed everybody?
No, that guy's a good guy.
Oh, that's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, not that Gary. No.
Oh, fuck.
No, I don't want to even
fucking
say.
talking about.
Not. I won't even say his last. That's Smiling Gary, who's a wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No,
you were
I'm talking about
bro.
Gary Sanducci from fucking Brooklyn.
Oh, I have no idea who he is.
Oh, I know that guy.
He's an over big, heavy set guy,
Yeah.
dirty, no good bastard, fucking gangster. Really, I mean, he worked for the mob.
Oh yeah.
He's not here,
Right.
but anyway, he threatened our lives
Yeah.
because he thought we were going to destroy NA with unearthing the fucking crime. So Dave Frazier got away with the crime. And his buddy who helped him do it was an addict who was on and off, in and out on, heroin, right? OD'd and died before he could completely roll over and give
shit.
sworn testimony.
No fucking way.
And a bunch of us were like, "You motherfucker, man."
Wow.
But see, Sanducci didn't understand what we were doing. He thought it was going to ruin NA. I was like, Gary, this is not your program. This is not my program. This all belongs to the fellowship, and this is the right thing to do.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't take fucking ethical rocket science to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 6th grade shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You already knew that in the 3rd, but in the 6th, you know how to do it.
Yeah.
Which is 6th grade, that's about as high as it goes for the average NAer.
Yeah, about.
Well, it's been that's been surveyed professionally,
Right.
not by me.
That makes sense.
Yes. Anyway, so I'm going along. I'm doing all this magic and everything.
I graduated from
Mondo.
high school.
I'm fucking broke.
Mondo, you're fucking killing me.
I'm broke. I'm making like $300 a week, working for day money, selling gold coins off the wreck of the Atocha. Little do I find out later on in my magical meanderings, which took me into various realms of magic. For instance, the Yoruban tradition, which is Santeria.
Santeria.
Yeah, but the Yoruban.
Stop. Don't even try it, Kevin.
So here I am. Okay, one of the aspects of the god, whose name is what's his name? He's gonna get mad at me because I'm not gonna say his name. Anyway, there's a primary god, and everybody is a child of this. They're demigods. They're the Orisha. Okay, they're like there's one god. He doesn't give a shit what's going on down here in that religion, and then there's a bunch of demigods, kind of like angels, right? But they're more powerful than that. They're gods, but they're not God. You know that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Exu in Brazilian, the name is Exu. Well, Exu loves children, and one of his aspects is the Christ child, the Nino de Atocha. So here I'm selling gold. I'm not even know this correspondence. I'm selling these gold coins, and I'm making it day by day until I finally hook up with an old pal, and I get a really good job that paid me for years. Paid me for about 8 years. Paid me well. Anyway, so I'm doing magic, and I'm doing magic to get further along, and have money again, and have a career again, and all those kinds of things, and to get some ass, and I'm getting some ass. I was getting some pretty good ass, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And good-looking girls, pretty smart, not too broken. They were broken, but not all the way. So that's how I got started and all that. And then one day I'm with a magical partner. I'm at a bookstore, a magical bookstore out in Scottsdale, and I open up this book, which says, book's right over here, I think. It's Liber Chaos. It's called Liber Chaos. And I open up this book, and there's this card in there, and it has this address on it. And these people's names on it. So it says, just come and see us. So we go there, and it's a fucking mailboxes are us. So a couple months later, I'm getting my OTO degree, the Order of Templi Orientis, the Templars, right? Mm-hmm. I'm getting initiated, and there's this guy and his wife there, and those are the people. And this guy was he was like the warlord, the international warlord of the order that they were in.
Nice.
The Chaos Magic Order. And
nice.
Okay. So I get involved with these people, blah, 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 blah. By this time, my magic has gotten pretty damn sophisticated. I've been doing all kinds of different paradigms. So we say, what is magic? Well, magic is causing change in accordance with will. It all boils down to, I need to get something done and I need a little extra push.
Damn, that sounds like spot the fuck on.
Well, that's kind of, we boiled it down to that after
okay.
many years of practice.
Right.
Because I don't call myself a magician, I call myself a practitioner.
Right. Okay. All right.
Anyway, and no, I can't light my fucking finger, and I can make a rock fall on somebody though.
Nice.
But I don't do it.
Right.
I don't want to do it.
Right.
Because
Do you believe in karma?
No.
No.
No. What karma? That's as a Buddhist, I understand karma. Because so my whole thing is, there's a lot of different ways to think and believe according to what I want to accomplish.
Okay.
So if I want to be on a very inner, I don't like the word spiritual, but for lack of a better one, a real inner mystical world, which doesn't necessarily have any connections with any spirits or anything like that. It's just kind of a knowledge of the oneness of everything.
Okay.
Then I use a different way to be there, a different paradigm, which is what Buddhism is. Buddhism, and there's a lot of different types of Buddhism. The type I like is the Tibetan type, which is called Vajrayana. And that practices nothingness and emptiness and those types of things. And so that's what I will use when I need to get into that state. Okay. So then I get involved in all this, and I'm doing all this, and wow, next thing you know, several years have gone by. A lot of things have happened, which I won't go into. Those are some of those stories are a whole podcast. Are you awake over there, buddy?
Yo.
But you're not Rob the Nut. Anyway, so that's kind of it. So magic is causing change in accordance with will. How you do it depends on how you want to do it.
Right.
Now, once you learn several of these disciplines or pick some out, because sometimes you can just pick out something and say, oh, I think that feels like that'll work. And you develop a whole process or methodology. Maybe you use a spell out of a book.
Okay.
Maybe you make up your own by looking, by just comes to you.
Okay.
Well, what I learned from being in all these different disciplines, though, was how to discipline myself and how to organize myself and how to do long-term plans. Like right here in this place, there's a long-term plan that's been in effect for 10 years.
Oh, shit.
Relative to this place.
Okay.
Casa de Mando Zaskia has a definite meaning, a deeper type of meaning. To me, it's my home, but it's more than that. It's a temple, it's a studio, it's all those things.
You made this place your own. This is truly you. This is an extension of you.
That's right. And so, but from a magical perspective, I started to settle into different routines to get different results. Like one of the things was, I was still paranoid.
Okay.
After being clean for like 10 years.
Why?
I was still paranoid.
Why?
Because I'm fucking paranoid.
I understand. I just had to hear it. I totally understand where you're coming from.
Well, it came from exacerbations of too many stimulants.
Right.
That for me, I didn't quite have full-blown ever amphetamine psychosis.
I did.
See, yeah, me too.
I did not. However, I had a lot of the fringe stuff, like the paranoia.
Okay.
Actually, cocaine made me more paranoid.
Right. You know what? I agree.
Made me a lot more paranoid. And
I
it
would
was
know.
it was like a catch-on to thing. It was like a contagious thing. Like,
Right.
so you'd be with somebody and you'd be getting high, you'd be doing a lot of coke, and they start looking out the window. They start that. Yeah. You know the movie.
Yeah.
I hate. It's one of the most rotten cereal fucking
Yeah,
things there is.
dude.
Anyhow, and that's not cereal you want to eat or watch. Anyway, so that I still had paranoia.
Yeah.
And so I had to create things to help me, to make me believe that I'm protected
Shit.
on different levels. And also,
Hey, I gotta sorry to interrupt you. I gotta apologize. I've been up since like 3:30 this morning, and I've done a shit ton of dabs. So I just want to say I'm sorry if I look like I was fucking out like a fucking light. My eyes were fucking closed like a motherfucker.
Being as it was
Just
on
a little-
camera, I was just kind of thinking of you.
Just want to apologize.
I
real
mean, you
quick.
could
Yeah,
now.
you
Okay,
nose dived into your microphone.
about
I almost lit my microphone on fire. Everybody
about
missed that.
45 years ago, I went to see Chris Christopherson at the Salon.
Oh,
Liberty.
Oh wow.
Okay,
He
so
was
this
in-
is when
He was in
guys.
Blade.
this is when this is way before that. This is when Chris was a musician exclusively.
Yeah, I saw pictures of him like that.
He was the biggest
I
drunk.
wrestled his son.
Did you?
Yeah.
He
like
looked
Jody.
drunk as fuck. in
He
that
was the
picture.
drunkest motherfucker you ever saw.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Chris, okay, so here's what happened. So we go to the show and they're playing, and it's Chris, and it's like no different than the record, right? All of a sudden, there's this long sustained chord coming from the electric piano, and the piano player has passed out on the keyboard.
Shit.
Like
Get
this.
the fuck out of here.
Face down on the keyboard, passed out.
Oh, no.
Now, that was the night that I decided to get my ear pierced.
Oh, wow.
So this is 1971. That's a big deal.
Fuck.
That's a big deal then, to get
Why?
your ear pierced. What? Why?
Why is
Well,
it-
nowadays it's nothing.
Right.
Yeah, back then, dude, it was like being.
You get your ear pierced, what kind of a sissy?
Oh, somebody would
Yeah.
say you were gay.
They
right?
they
Yeah.
didn't do that to me
Right.
because they knew they'd get their fucking ass whacked.
Right.
Yeah.
Like walking through the Bronx with blonde hair or long hair.
Right.
Yeah, Mike, you're not a small guy. I don't think as a stranger passing by
Well-
in 1971, if I saw an earring in your ear, the last thing I would think is that you were gay.
I had hair down to here. My sideburns were braided, and
Nice.
I had a big old earring hanging out of that ear.
Damn.
You know,
Rocking it.
and you know, I hung around with
Were you
musicians.
here
we
or
were
were you in
musicians.
Cali at the time?
What's that?
Were you here or in Cali?
No, I lived here.
Okay. All right.
During that. Anyway, so coming back to the Magick time, okay, so that's where the paranoia kind of came from. And so now I have entities that I've created which protect me.
Okay.
And they also, then the word magic really caught me in regards to NLP.
Okay.
Because the first book I ever saw about NLP was in the Changing Hands bookstore at Tempe on Mill Avenue, the old location,
Ah.
the real old location, the red brick location. And there was a book by Richard Bandler and John Grinder, which is called The Structure of Magic, Part 1.
Okay.
And it was transcripts of some of their lectures that they did. Now, those guys had created NLP.
Where can people find those works now?
Oh, online.
Yeah.
Online.
Any place in particular?
You could get them on Amazon sometimes. Other times you get them from a private seller. Thing about it is I think I think they've been reissued.
Okay.
But if they're the original copies, they're gonna spend some money.
Right. Right.
I have all the books, and here's the thing. What's important about NLP is not the theory of it so much. What's important about NLP is the techniques.
Okay.
And so NLP is like mind magic. NLP is what we would call in magic sleight of mind.
Okay.
So it's manipulating your mind. So because the theory of chaos magic when it comes to enchantment, okay, casting spells, is that you have an intention. Like, I want to make an extra $1,000 a month. And I want to develop a strategy to do that so I can implement it immediately.
Cool.
So that's your intention. You write it out. You make a structure out of it called a sigil. Have you ever heard of a sigil?
No.
Okay, so a sigil is a symbol that you create. And it's a graphic symbol in writing. So you just take a pen, and so you take the non-repeating letters from your statement of intent that you wrote down, that I just gave you, right?
Okay.
And you put those together into one symbol.
Okay.
And at that point, you figure out what you're going to do to kick that spell from here in here to into the subconscious.
Well, you still gonna have to write this shit down.
Oh no, there's books and
Well,
books.
it's gonna be on the podcast, so now I can follow
there's
the directions.
Books
Go
and
ahead.
there's
Please
books and
proceed,
books on
sir.
it.
Sorry.
A good book to read on this is Cadet's Chaos
Okay.
by Phil Hine. Oh, I know.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I know a bunch of these guys.
That's awesome, man. Holy shit.
My one of my mentors was Christopher Hyde, whose real name was Alan Miller.
Okay.
He had 2 PhDs,
Wow.
2 different psychology PhDs.
Okay.
And he's the guy that came up with that, was it Nike or is it? Yeah, it's Nike. Just do it.
Really?
That's his.
Oh, we've had this conversation. I remember
Yeah.
you telling me about that. Okay.
So he was one of my mentors.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's, and so I've taught these classes for many years. I haven't taught one in probably 8 years or 10 years, right? Now I haven't taught one since I moved here. I was teaching, you're wrong, I have. Anyway, so I've taught so many classes so many times, written so many syllabus, on a whole year's worth of classes.
Okay.
And I've had different people come in and teach, do different classes, of course.
Okay.
So that's the whole thing about magic, is the type of magic that I practice. There's other kinds of magic. There's people that do magic for their religion, like Wicca.
Right.
They do festivals, yearly festivals, like
Voodoo.
ceremonies.
Voodoo.
Oh yeah. Well, they're going to do one.
Summer solstice.
Yep, they're going to do. Well, you're going to do the summer solstice, which is midsummer. It's the midsummer festival.
Yeah.
They're going to do. That's a fire festival.
Oh wow.
So that's going to be, let's see, June the 21st.
Can you guys go to it?
No, I don't. I'm not religious.
Oh, it is a religious thing.
It's religious, but it's cool. I mean, it's not like going to church.
Oh, okay.
It's a little different.
Okay.
I mean, people are open about what they do to each other.
Oh wow. Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of all that.
I'm down to watch.
Oh, I see. I knew these people that had a group marriage.
Oh wow.
I mean, there was like,
A throuple?
it was more than that.
Was it?
It was like, there was like 6 people in it.
Oh, that's like fucking.
There was like, there was 7. There was 3 dudes and 4 women.
Damn.
And the women were all bisexual.
That's all.
And I think a couple of the guys were, but I didn't mix in any of that.
Oh boy.
I
Yeah.
didn't like that. Being too close to Joe was bad enough.
Did your dick just show up? Mine did.
What's that?
I said, did your dick just show up?
No,
Mine
it's
did.
Yeah.
here's what we do. Okay. Whoop,
Yeah. pretty much.
whoop.
Mine just
So
tried to hide.
yeah,
There you go.
it went from small to non-existent. So
Start hiding up your asshole.
it's like, wait a minute, I don't have a second navel. Anyhow,
That's fucking funny, dude.
yeah, it's crazy. But so that's kind of the story. But
Okay.
that's what magic for me is all about. If I see something that it doesn't mean I quit doing stuff in the mundane world. It's in addition to, like when it comes to sales, for instance, I have an entity that I use that brings me leads that buy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Really?
And I've had that for many years.
Wow.
And that came out of a random divination, out of a book that Peter J. Carroll wrote. He wrote Liber Null, Liber Chaos, and several other books. Peter J. Carroll's kind of sort of like the father of chaos magic, but he's not. I mean, there's a lot of them. But anyway,
Okay.
so Pete, he had some pretty good advice on some things.
Nice.
So that's kind of what I followed. I mean, I've done all kinds of. I do Norse magic. That's one of my favorites. Working with the Viking magic, and yeah, I've done a lot of that. I almost joined the Rune Guild, but that's a religion, and I'm not. If I was going to be in a religion, I would be in the Rune Guild, but
Hey,
I'm not.
Can you see our comments from here on YouTube?
I don't have that on. We could.
Oh, okay.
We could. We've been liked. Now, where you would see that, here we go.
I'm just looking to see if
Hold
anybody left us some comments or.
Well, let's
chats,
see.
anybody,
Refresh
because
chat.
Our last one.
We have a viewer,
No.
Okay, we have a viewer right
but
now.
but we haven't.
We appreciate that, Mono. Didn't mean to cut you off there. I just wanted to acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
anybody listening to us.
Yeah,
Sounded like
thanks.
you were about through, so.
Yeah, I'm about done. I would
Okay.
for this. You know, I'll come back and do other parts because there's.
We want you to do the lesson 1
Okay.
on the next segment for us.
Okay. Well, this was the introduction,
Right.
and then I'll do lesson number 1 where I'll introduce the 5 realms, or what I call the 6 realms of magic,
Okay.
and that's according to this. It's called a meta paradigm,
Okay.
meaning that it's several paradigms rolled into one.
Okay.
It's several different paths
Sweet.
rolled into one big one.
Okay. That sounds
So
interesting.
that's what we'll do next time, and
Right.
that's a fun one. And that we'll try to get some active. Maybe I'll get our buddy Andre Vitamus on with
Oh
me
yeah, that would be great.
because he's taught classes for many
I'd
years.
love to have him back.
Yeah, we'll get Andre on here.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
That idea. Wow. Holy shit.
yeah, that'll be. And I'll have if you want up the road, I'll have other people come on.
Okay.
I'll have Frater Iwaz come on.
Okay.
I might be able to get my historian buddy on.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. That's a fucking great idea.
Siddhartha.
Sweet.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Did you ever know, what was it?
Speaking to the mic.
What's up?
You gotta speak into
Oh.
the mic, bro.
Oh, we're still recording?
Yes, we're still recording.
Oh.
Did you want to ask?
No,
Did you want to
no,
ask
no.
Mono?
yeah. Do you have
No.
anything to add or?
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right, ladies and